This is the EWN Podcast Network.
Ever wondered how you could turn your side hustle into a full-time gig and spend more time together?
Hi, I'm Vicki, a #1 best-selling author.
And I'm John, a retired Los Angeles police officer. Welcome to Dig the Well, where we help couples navigate the world of business.
We've been married for 35 years, and because we built a successful side business, John retired 9 years earlier than he originally planned from the Los Angeles Police Department after 25 years on the job. Now we spend more time together, and we want to help couples like you do the same.
Join us as we help you overcome common obstacles, and we show you how to make extra income without sacrificing family time.
Ready to dig deep and build your well? Let's get started. Welcome back. Welcome back to Dig the Well. We are excited that you are here. Thank you for being part of our community. John and I love this community. He's not here with me today because I get some girl time fun with a fellow female boss babe, entrepreneur. And I can't wait for you to hear her story. Those of you that have been following our podcast for a while now, you know that we are all about multiple streams of income, for one, as entrepreneurs, and also digging the well before you need the water. And I'm not sure how much we're going to get into that part of the conversation, but that is the name of the podcast. And the fact that John and I started our own business when we didn't necessarily need the water, need the extra income. But when we did, we were able to turn up the volume on that income and then retire him, as most of you know, 9 years early from the Los Angeles Police Department. And now we're having the time of our lives. And we love highlighting other women and men in business. And so I've got a special guest today, my good friend. We've gotten to know each other at several different women's networking organizations. And it is none other than Natalia Jansen. And it's funny, I just found out before we started recording, Natalia, that your husband or ex-husband was Dutch and I'm Danish. And when I saw the spelling of your name, Jansen, with the E-N, because sometimes it's O-N, but yours is E-N, I immediately thought Scandinavian, but he's Dutch, or so that's really cool. So we're kind of connected that way too.
Yes.
Yeah. So welcome to the podcast, Natalia. We're so glad you're here.
Oh, it is my pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. So I'd love for you to tell our audience, I know you've recently had a rebrand and it's exciting times, but before we get into that, tell us a little bit about your journey as an entrepreneur, where you started, because I find your background fascinating. I was a dance major. I don't know if I ever told you that. Maybe I did. And I know acting for you, right? So tell us how you started your journey.
Well, my journey in life has been really fun and quite extraordinary. And I think that's part of what led me to the becoming an entrepreneur, to really finding my own path through life. I came to the United States as an exchange student at 17, my senior year in high school. I came from Slovakia, and an amazing family chose to host me in McLean, Virginia. So that's where I was introduced to the United States. And of course, I came with this big idea of a dream. I wanted a bigger life. Slovakia is a beautiful country, but it's tiny. It's at the heart of Europe. And for some reason, I really wanted more. I wanted to see the world and be a global citizen. And so when I had this opportunity to go and be a student in the US, my, soul lit up on fire. It was an opportunity to, this is my first step to go out there and see the world and see what's out there. So
love it. I love
I'm
that.
really grateful that my parents were on board and agreed, because it was not an easy thing to do. The program cost $5,000. It was way back in 1994. And it took us 3 years to put the money together. My father even had to get a job abroad to, be able to save up enough money for this to happen. And that's why we decided I was going to go my senior year with the goal of going to college in the US so that I can stay and build a life here. And that's what
Love
happened.
that. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that about you, and I absolutely love it. It reminds me because being in the US, so many of us come from immigrant families, and my grandparents came from Denmark and opened a delicatessen way back in the 30s. But
Wow.
they became entrepreneurs. They wanted the same thing.
Right.
Denmark is a tiny little country. It used to be huge, but then they got taken over by all these other countries. It's a tiny little country, and they wanted the American dream, much like you did. That is
Yeah.
so cool. And we had a foreign exchange student stay with my family when I was a junior in high school. So
Oh,
my
wow.
parents hosted a Swedish friend and or student, and now we've remained friends all these years. Are you
Yes.
still in touch with the host family? Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. I'm in
Oh,
touch. I know their kids, their grandkids. I go visit sometimes.
oh.
It's wonderful.
I know. Do they
You,
almost feel like surrogate grandparents? I mean, parents, kind of like second
yeah,
parents?
yes. And
Yeah.
then I have another family that has really played a major role in helping me, feel at home and adapt to US and continue to pursue my dream. Because the
Love it.
college I got to go to is Lake Forest College in Illinois.
Oh,
It's a small private school, and that story was also. It's like you cannot plan for this. These
yeah.
are just. It's what I teach today is you you must feel, you must know what it is that you truly desire, and then you simply know that it's going to happen. And
Yes,
you
right?
already know how. In those days, I didn't know what I was doing, but instinctively in me, like when I really wanted something, I simply put all of my energy and mind to this is what I would want. I wanted to go to college in the United States. I was, applying for local colleges in Washington, D.C., in Virginia, where I was. My counselor was talking to the local universities. And it just happened that the gentleman who was looking for students to recruit for Lake Forest College happened to be sitting in her office and overheard the conversation. And he was inspired to say, well, this young woman sounds like a student we might want to have in our school.
Right.
And
Wow. How
he invited
cool.
me to come and check out the school. He gave me a free ticket. He let me stay in the dorm room with his niece who happened to be studying at the college at the time. And I went and I got to experience what it's like to be in college. And I don't know if you've been to Lake Forest.
No, I haven't.
It is a fairy tale town. It literally is in the forest next to a lake.
Oh, wow.
And it's so beautiful. The structures, the architecture, it's just it's picturesque. It's like a fairy tale town. So I fell in
Oh,
love with it. The school was very small, and like I had no other frame of reference. But it
right.
was a
Right.
private school. It was wonderful. They had a theater. That was it.
Oh.
It was sold.
Were you were you also into theater in high school or just when you got to college?
No, I discovered theater in high school, and
Okay.
that's how I decided that I was going to study theater, because
Uh,
theater opened my world. You
yes.
cannot express how much I came alive when I stepped into theater. And
Yes.
even my audition, I auditioned for it was like a community center kids theater troupe.
Yes.
And I went, and they were looking for just few people to do a kind of like a modern deconstruction type play, original play. It was called Replica 2. It was a deconstruction of the story of Medea. I don't know if you're familiar with the Medea. She was married to Jason and he cheated on her, and they had two kids. And, she was known as a powerful woman and witch. And she decided, to kill the children. She had two sons and she did not want them to grow up to be terrible men like her husband. And she poisoned the princess and the king and left Jason to, suffer the consequences. So that was the myth, right? That's the story.
Okay.
We were deconstructing this story, and I played one element of Medea. Well, before in the audition, what I was asked to do, and get like I've never been to theater, like I've never done anything. had no experience. When I got on stage and I was asked to be a rag.
Oh, interesting.
And so that was a moment where I simply, okay, rag. If I'm a rag, what does the rag do? Right. And
Exactly.
I relaxed my body and I started moving through the stage as if somebody is moving me around and cleaning the floor.
Right.
And I just relaxed and I just followed an instinct that I had that had zero experience. And I
Wow.
guess it worked because I was cast, I became part of the troupe and I was cast as Medea's strength. So
Ooh.
my costume was chainmail, right? Chainmail, right? I had
Uh-huh.
this gray chainmail. I had a big, uh, like hair. My sleeves were all the way down. It was huge, and had big giant combat boots. And I was the part of her that was the strength that insisted on her, taking the rest. And it was really fun because I
I
got to just explore things that I've never done. And
right.
we went on to we went on to a competition, a national theater festival in the
Oh.
capital city in Bratislava, and I ended up winning an award for best actress as a rookie of the year. It was really fun.
Wow, look at that. Holy cow. That's interesting. And when you're talking about the character, I remember talking to other actors about the fact that when you play almost an alter ego of your actual personality, that's way more fun than who you actually are when you're playing somebody like the rag
Because
that is,
it's
or the
freeing.
chains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is this freedom in
Wow.
letting go, and then where you don't judge, you stop
Yeah.
judging yourself. You are exploring, you're stepping into an experiment and you giving it all a got and you are figuring out how it feels.
Right.
And that so that's where my rebrand was born. Like it
Yeah.
took 30 years
Yeah.
to get there. But yeah, this is this is what I this is the main message I want to teach to people to help them understand that they get to do that with their real life. You
I
get to
love
let
that.
go of all the labels or the identity that you've adopted or
Right.
the parts of it that don't work, and you get to create and script and step into a role that you truly want, that feels expansive, feels vibrant, electric, and alive. And in a safe space, when you start as if you are simply acting, right? You're pretending, you're stepping into the role. It gives you that um, license to mess it up any
Yes.
way you want. It's not. Um, there's no big consequence in my workshop or when we're working together, right? There is no
Right.
consequence to you being a different version of yourself, but you get to feel it. You get to feel it in your entire body. You get to have the sensation, the emotion, the energy, and that's where you discover whether that's really what you want. That's
Yeah.
really aligned.
I love
And
it.
then you can step into it in the real world.
Yes. So let's segue right into that. So the name of your new rebrand is, go ahead and say, I was about to say, but I don't want to
Yes, it's
mess
called
it up.
starring in your life. Starring.
Starring in your life. I love it. So you're stepping into the starring role of your life. So starring in your life.
I
Yeah.
mean, how many people do you know that they are playing a supporting role in someone else's story?
Oh,
Or
almost.
they're waiting for
Yeah.
permission, they're waiting for the right time, for the right conditions, right? You know what? All of that is nothing but excuses. I mean,
Mm,
that's the rough
yeah.
way to say it. But
Yeah.
the excuses and the beliefs, yes, the pressures from growing up and taking on an identity and labels that we simply accept because
Mm,
we observe the world around us,
right.
right? We listen to what others tell us, whether it's parents, teachers, news, social media, stories, movies, right?
Right.
We are bombarded with all this information and we take it as truth, as facts. But the fact really is that none of that is really the truth. All of that
Right.
are different projections of the people who came before. Your reality that you live is a mirror of what you feel and think of yourself on the inside.
So
So
true.
I get in there and help you unlock the parts of you that you want, not the parts that you think you should want or that
Right.
you were told that you want. I
Right.
love
So
it.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say, like, I was thinking a lot of friends of mine that say I'm shy, I'm shy. I couldn't do that. And I totally agree with you. I think that's what other people have told them. Maybe of course they felt a little insecure, but then their mother or father told them as they were growing up, oh, it's okay. She's shy. Right. And they started believing it. Yeah.
Exactly. And you absorbed it and it became your truth. But that's how it is. You are a blank slate. When you come
Right.
into this world, you are fully in your genius zone.
Yeah.
You are exploring the world. You have an open mind. You're following your intuition, your instincts. You're learning, what you have available to
Yeah.
you, right? You get to discover
Right.
your body. You feel your emotions, you feel your feelings when your parents piss you off, you are mad, when you're really having fun, you're happy. So you're fully in your expressive genius, in your alignment, but you're discovering what it's all about, right?
Right.
And
Right.
then as you grow, the society has certain expectations, certain rules, the school has certain structures. And so you start conforming to fit in
So
instead
true.
of continuing to express and learn how to navigate who you are in that
Very
wholeness.
true. Very
And
true.
yes, and then you
Yeah.
become the identities that you take in, right? So,
Yeah.
yes, if you are someone who started off being a quiet person because you're more introspective, because you
Right.
like to think about things before you express them, and then someone labeled you, well, you're shy, and then you've heard it 100,000 times, then yes, you turn to be shy. And then
Right.
you've accepted this persona, and now you act like you're someone who's shy. And that's okay,
Right.
except you got to know that just as you've accepted the label of being shy, you can choose to explore a
Right.
new identity as someone who is outgoing. And
Right.
you can just
Right.
try it
I
and
love
experiment
that.
with what it's like to be outgoing. And,
Love
you don't have to take it on right away. Just open a
little
little,
by little. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
open
I
the corner of your mind, get curious, and experiment.
Right.
So,
So
yeah.
how do you work with people? So say somebody comes to you and says, "Okay, that's it. After listening to this podcast that you were on, I want to change my life. I felt like I was hiding. I wasn't the true expression of who I really wanted to be." So when they come to you to change that, what is like the first step for them and you?
The first step is we connect, and we talk about all of these observations, right? Because you have to acknowledge where you are, who you
Mhm.
are, and accept all of it, and without any judgment. But
Right.
you have to know where you are,
Mhm.
and then you have to know where you want to be.
Right.
And then my job is to help you bridge that gap and do it fast. And
God.
I like to say fun and easy. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that the foundation of a human being and a human life and just life in general is joy.
Yes.
Vibration. Like when you are aligned with life and you are in your star power, you are feeling the life coursing through you and you are feeling joyful. And it was natural to you. It's natural every time you encounter something that you love that works for you,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
And so having fun, exploring the possibilities and being playful with it without putting so much pressure on it and not just thinking about it.
Right.
I take people out of their head into their body and into their emotion because you have to connect all three for the transformation to occur. And transformation happens in the moment and it happens now and it happens when you become aware of what it is that you want to shift.
Love it. Love it. So do
So
you do one-on-one coaching? Do you do group sessions? What
I
is
do
your
group sessions more because
okay.
there's more opportunity to play and
Mm,
interact with other people.
Right.
I also I do one-on-one coaching, but I limit it to very few people who are absolutely committed and serious. And
Right.
it's a I encourage people to start with my masterclass, Star Power
Okay.
Masterclass, because
Okay.
it's a monthly class. Each month we dedicate to a specific area of life and we go deep and
Mm.
we go over the stories and then we just explore different way of looking at them and thinking about them, and then we actually embody it through activities like improv and role play
I was
and
going to ask about improv. That's funny. I struggled with improv. So I told you I was a dance major and I could dance improv, no problem. In fact, I hope none of my university professors are listening because I have a bachelor's in dance from UC Irvine. But one of my final dances, like it's kind of a final paper, they actually just have you dance. I went in and I did this. Most of it was improv. Like I had not choreographed it and I just did it. So dance is fine. But I was worried if they're going to ask me to do it again, I couldn't do it. But
but
when it comes
right.
to acting, when it comes to, I just feel so uncomfortable with that. So I want to ask you, how do you get a person past that uncomfortable? I know they have to push through it, to get through it. But what do you do
Yeah,
anything
actually,
special?
I'm not a big fan of any pushing because when you're
Okay.
creating resistance, that's not helpful, right?
Okay.
Life is about flowing, it's about
Yes.
feeling, it's about being aligned and finding the way that works for you. See, I really like to honor that each person is, first of all, an unique individual and a divine expression of this one life that's happening for all of us, right? We're
Right.
all connected and we're all very unique expressions of this divine life. You are also the highest authority on your life because only
Mhm.
you can decide and define what that starring role in your life looks like. So, what I will do is make an invitation and create a safe space for you to just experiment. And you
Mm.
only take the step that you're ready to take.
Oh, good. I
Now,
like
in
that.
improvisation, there's the first rule. First rule is yes, right? Whatever life throws at you, we're connecting, right? Or
Right.
whatever partner in your improv, whatever idea they come up, you go along with it. You say
Mm.
yes. You cannot deny a fact in an improv, right?
Okay.
So
Right.
whatever imaginary world you're creating, you've got to play along with that world. That's the first rule. The second rule is a yes and. That means
Mm.
you are accepting what's happening, you're taking the idea, and you adding your idea to it. You creating, right?
Right.
And so
Right.
that's what you would do. Like, how often do you have conversations with people that you've never met before?
Um, actually, at some of these networking groups that we've gone to, I do, right? So is that a form of improv? Is that what you're
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it
and do
is
you
actually.
did someone tell you exactly what to say and you know what they're gonna say back? No. You
No.
are in a moment, you are
Yeah.
present, you're here, you're listening, you're taking the information, you're processing it quickly, and then you're offering a response. That's improv,
Yeah,
right?
that's very
That's
true.
improv.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a
And so
good
when
way to
you're
phrase it for somebody that
right.
doesn't understand it or, want to
So
recognize it.
you are improvising every single day of your life, except the difference is you have a subconscious script that's
Mm.
running the stories. So your responses may look alike. You have certain ways of looking at things and they are staying in the same zone. So you're experiencing the same types of results. So
Right.
when you are doing improv in a creative space, and you are stepping into a different role, a different persona, or you are taking on a position that's different than yours, what's happening is you have to get your brain to start thinking of different ideas,
Right.
of different ways of responding. You have to embody the character that you're being. And so then when you take that playfulness and experimentation, you can take it into your real life situation. And when you notice that you're being, okay, I don't know, your kids left socks on the all over the floor in the bathroom, and your first instinct is, oh my God, right? So then you
Yeah.
notice, okay, well, let's try something different, right? How
Right.
about, as like, my God, I love how you like to, pick up the socks every, like, right? Instead of
Right.
being
Right.
angry, it's like, I am so proud of you. I know that you're going to pick up the sock, and I'm going to walk into the room tomorrow and it'll be, in order,
Yes.
for
Yes.
example, right? So
Yes.
the
Yes.
idea is to just start noticing. That's the key. Until you catch yourself and notice what you're doing, that you're repeating a pattern that's
Mhm.
unconscious and
Right.
it's reactive. So an improv is an opportunity to kind of practice that. Start being
Yeah.
conscious, start being aware, and learning to think and look at situations in a different way.
Right. I love that. That is so good. You helped me reframe that. And I bet a lot of the people listening too that have ever done improv and they just want to run away. The minute someone says,
Right.
okay, we're going to improv, they either shrink in their chair and pull away, right? Or they actually physically run away.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's
But yeah,
good.
you know what?
Yeah.
It's fun. If you look at it as a game and you
Right.
approach it as a game, because there's no high stakes, right? Nothing's
Right.
going to happen to you. You say something silly, and what? We're going to laugh. It's going to be great.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you give yourself permission to just see what comes out in the moment, that's one that gives you freedom. Another one is being very intentional, right?
Hmm.
Like if
Hmm.
you decide, okay, I am going to play a role of someone who is loving, kind, and compassionate, no matter what, right? And then, of course, someone will come up with something and say, "Oh, you're so ugly." I was like, "Okay, yes, I am. Sometimes I do feel ugly. No problem." Right? You
Right.
can respond that's aligned with your intention, because if you do, when you come from a place of love and, grounded self-assurance, nobody can nobody can do anything to you. They can
Right.
say whatever they want. It has nothing to do with you. So
Right.
part of what I like to impart is making decisions. Decide who you are going to be today, just for the day. If it's
Right.
not working for you, you don't have to. Tomorrow you can make a new decision.
I love
For
that.
today, decide who you're going to be and then stick to it and
Right.
approach it as a game. Have fun playing and
Right.
remembering who you
Yeah.
decided to be today.
I love that. I love that. So your classes, so there's a master class and
Yes.
that's monthly, right? You were saying?
Well,
Yeah. Or no?
we meet weekly, but each month is
Oh,
dedicated
gotcha.
to a specific area of life. For
Okay.
example, love and relationships, right? Then health and well-being. Then financial abundance and
Oh, that's
freedom,
great.
or intuition and
Mm,
manifestation. And so each month, it's a 6-month course that repeats. So if
mhm.
someone can just sign up for monthly, or they can
Right.
purchase the 6 months, and there's a little discount. But it's it's a life mastery class. It's a
Mm,
Star Power Masterclass, where you're going to be digging into and choosing who it is that you are. If you were the star in your life, how will you be showing up? What will you be thinking and saying and doing in
right.
all of these different areas of life where we
I love
manifest?
that. Almost like act as if. I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, act as if before you are there, you're going to act as if say you wanted to be a millionaire. You're broke and super broke, but you want to star into your role or step into your starring role of being a millionaire,
Yes.
for example. But you've got
Yes.
to first act like one. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
I see
Not
what you're
just
saying.
act, you wanna practice being it.
Yeah.
You wanna
Yeah.
practice being it, and yes, at first, it feels like pretending, until you do it enough times that it seeps into your subconscious mind, where the possibility of it becomes completely real. So, the feeling is the secret. You must
Oh,
feel like a millionaire, and you must act and be a millionaire in your feeling and in your imaginary state, because everything is created twice, right? Everything is
mm,
created twice. People know
mm.
that, but they don't quite understand the power of this statement. Think about the clothes that you're wearing, the headphones that are on your ears, the
Yeah.
microphone you're speaking into.
Right.
First, it was an idea in someone's mind.
Yeah.
Everything. Now, here's the word. Everything is created twice.
Yeah.
So the first was the thought. It was an idea in the imagination. And when you entertain that idea and you explore it, you start seeing it, you step into the being of it as real. You see yourself, let's say it's a millionaire. What does
Right.
that look like for you? Because nobody else's idea is same as yours. You have to create a picture, an image, and the persona of a millionaire. And then you have to live it in your imagination, but you have to feel it. It has to be completely real for you. You step on to the balcony, and even though it could be like a studio apartment, but you're standing there and you own this, and you are
Right.
seeing your, I don't know, yacht over there in the marina, and you
Right.
feel the breeze of the ocean as you're sailing through, and then whatever you're drinking, your favorite cocktail, and the love of your life is next to you, and you can feel his kisses on your cheek. I mean, that's how real, right? You've
Exactly.
got to feel it in as many sensory things that you can create for yourself and step into that imaginary world, because as soon as you do that, it's already done.
Love that.
Then you
Do you
just
do
release.
vision boards too? Then I'm assuming at some point, like where you
Vision board
put,
is a tool.
yeah,
Yes,
hmm
yes. Vision
yeah,
board is a tool.
meditation, I'm sure. Right.
Meditation is a wonderful. My preferred method is journaling and
Oh, yeah,
meditation and yoga.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I sit in my meditation. I'm also a practitioner of the science of mind. So we do the spiritual mind treatment, where you
Mhm.
create the reality you want, and you understand, you acknowledge that you are one with the one mind of God, which is the all there
Mhm.
is. There's only God, and or life, or the universe, whichever
Right,
word resonates. But there's only one thing happening in this world, and that is life.
right,
Life is happening, and it's constantly expanding and trying to express itself through each and every one of us. And each one of us is an expression of this life. So we are made of the same essence. We have that creative power in us. And our imagination is our superpower. That is our
yes,
creative superpower.
hmm
So if we
yes,
learn how to use it, you know, um, deliberately and intentionally, and know that because you are part of this one infinite intelligence, this mind that creates all these worlds, it's all easy. Moment you create it in your imagination, it already exists. So the
right,
only thing left to do is for you to align with it and flow with that energy that's going to guide you to what step you need to take next to live that life that you've imagined, to be the person that you've created. But you just have to know that that's it. What happens for people is our mind gets in the way, right? The
hmm
mind starts to doubt
certainly,
because we have an idea of how it's supposed to look. The moment you try to figure out the how, you're getting in you're getting in the way. You're
yeah,
messing things up. So
right.
what you want to do is going to stay in that playful, joyful, vibrant, alive vision, know it's real, and then let it go and let universe take care of the
Like,
rest.
go and let God is what I say, but yeah,
Yes, that's it.
I
Yes.
love that, I love that. But also you've got to do some activity, right, to make it happen.
You
Don't you
take
agree?
actions,
Yeah,
right? But your
take an action.
actions have to come from that place of you already being there, because
Right,
you
right.
cannot. Let me put it this way. Einstein said this, right? You cannot find a solution at the level of a problem, right? You can't
Mhm,
find a solution with the same mind that created the problem.
mhm.
So you've got to be in that state, in the vision, in the reality of it, in terms of energy and emotion and thought. And in that space, you ask, so what should I do today? Or what step can I take today to get me there? Right?
Yes, yes,
Because when
definitely.
that opportunity or idea or action, that's what you do. And then you do it with 100% precision, commitment, effort. You give it your all. When you do that, you show up 100% for what is right in front of you that comes from that inspired action, from that intuitive feeling, from that impulse of this, this feels like it's a line. You go and do that. First of all, it's going to feel like all these wonderful things are coming up out of the blue. It's
Right.
going to feel like magic, but it's not really magic. It's because when you are in alignment and you step into your starring role, you know who you are, you know exactly what your desire is, and you already know that it's already done. All you have to do
Yeah.
is be a cooperative component to
To make
express
it,
it into the
yeah.
physical world.
I love it. I love that. I love all of this. So great. I love it. I love it. So,
Yes, and it's really fun. It becomes fun. Life
yeah,
is life
should be
does not
fun,
have
right?
to be, all struggle.
hmm
And
I agree.
but what I want to point out is it doesn't mean that it's always just, unicorns and, rose petals. That's not the point. The point is to recognize that at every moment, every step away, as long as you align with the vision and you have absolute faith and confidence, knowing it's already done, and then you're doing your part, you're taking the actions you have to take, and things show up like um, a um, loss of a job, or loss of a loved one, or an accident. You want to understand that you don't want to get caught in that moment, in that one event.
Right.
Yes, you honor your feelings. You feel what it feels. You allow it to pass through you, but all along knowing that this is just what it looks like. It looks like as it's all coming together, because maybe there's part of you that needed um, strength, that needed, build more resilience, or build patience, or build
hmm
compassion, right? So all of these parts, all of the things that occur, my mentor Mary Morrissey says, the content of your life is the curriculum of your evolution. Okay.
Love
The
it.
content of your life is a curriculum of your evolution. Like, take Nelson Mandela, for example, right? The angry man who was protesting against apartheid
Yeah.
could never be the president.
Right.
He
Right.
needed to spend time in that prison, in the hard labor, to go through that
Yeah.
physical, the
Yeah.
conditions of it,
hmm
for his spirit to be able to rise and build the strength and resilience it took to then come out, to be able to reframe it, to find a different way to reach out to the journalist, to the world, and
hmm
then come out after 27 or 28 years of imprisonment and
Yeah.
become the president. It was part of his evolution.
Right.
Without that step, that would never happen. It's the
Yeah.
same thing that we can take Oprah, for example, right?
hmm Yeah.
Her being fired as a young reporter or journalist or TV broadcaster was the necessary part of
hmm
her evolution, of her growth, of her stepping into the starring role that she's embodying right now fully. So
Right.
what I'm trying to say is, you don't want to look at things that occur that don't look like the way you want them, or you imagine, or they should, but that you
Right.
will understand that all of life, that every part of it is a gift,
hmm
there's something good in it, there's something valuable in it, there is something there to help you continue to grow, to become the star of your life that you are able to be.
I love
They're
that.
not meant to shrink you, they're not meant to slow you down, they're meant to help you seek the good in it. What is the lesson?
Yeah.
And that is the challenging part
hmm
for
It
most
is.
people, as to when they're experiencing something traumatic. No, we don't want to deny the feelings. We want to feel them
Right.
fully. And that's sometimes scary. And then people try to push it away. And then it becomes a trauma or a trapped emotion, then later plays, unconscious sabotage for you. But
Right.
if you find a way to stay with an open heart and experience life fully with all of the things, and maybe stop choosing to label things as good and bad, because
Right.
they
That's
aren't good or bad.
true.
They
Right.
are. It's
They just
just are.
are.
They
Hmm.
just are. You get to decide how you're going to look at it, what lens you're going to look at it. And
Right.
so, something that your first instinct might be, oh, this is bad. I encourage you to, when you notice that instinct, pause. It doesn't have to be bad. It happened.
Right.
Accept it and figure out what you can do with it. You know,
Right.
where
Right.
is the opportunity to either get creative, or where's the message? Maybe this is telling you you're not going in the right direction. Maybe it's just a little more of a, we call it universal two by four, right? Because we have the nudges, right? That we
Right.
can but if you learn to pay attention to the nudges, to the longings, and you follow the longings, or you notice the discontent, so you honor and remove things from your life that don't align with you. If you follow, you don't have to have a major disaster, but it's when you don't pay attention to these nudges, when you're not really responding to them, when you have a certain idea in your head and you let your head run everything, and you're
Right.
forgetting to connect with your body and really pay attention to where it's guiding you. That's when the universe hits you with a two by four, right?
Yeah.
to,
Yeah,
to
that's for
deliver a
sure.
message in much more
Yes.
loud
Yeah.
way.
Wow, this has been amazing, Natalia. I'm blown away by your knowledge, and clearly you've lived through and helped a lot of people. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the language so eloquently spoken the way you did about all of that. So amazing. And I know we teach our kids to do all those things. Like if something seems like a setback, don't take it as a setback. It's a learning experience. But you phrased it so much more eloquently, so beautiful. And I feel like so many people can learn from you in such a positive way. I absolutely love it. And I love that you brought up Nelson Mandela. Wow. I mean, what a story, right?
Yes.
And so many people want to be the victim and live in that victim mentality instead of rising up, being the
Right.
phoenix.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's a lot easier to look for causes outside of you,
Hmm.
or blame someone or something or circumstance, or let the fear dominate.
Yeah.
But the truth is that the power is in you, and
Hmm.
every experience that you have is a reflection of what you live inside. So when you understand that you have 100% power and control over what results you create in your life, and you stop looking for the blame or excuse out there and start looking inside and start being honest with it, and be kind and loving and compassionate.
Right. Right.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not comfortable to look at the ugly parts of yourself,
Right.
but we all have them. And when I can look at myself, it's like, okay, well, that was my ego showed up. Like,
Yeah.
I thought I knew this, but clearly I don't have the result. And this lady, just, reflected it right back to me. I didn't like it, but I noticed that, like, oh, well, there you go. So
Yes.
instead of blaming the lady and letting my ego run the show, I was like, I recognize, okay, their ego just popped up. It
Yes.
means, okay, what can I learn from her from this? Because clearly she's showing me what I
Mhm.
done.
What you needed to see. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And it's we are human beings no, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. That's the right way.
Yes. Yes.
And
We
all of the answers, everything we have access to, because we have a direct connection to the infinite intelligence that creates
yeah.
worlds. So,
Yes, we do.
and so the way we experience life, if we keep saying, oh, this is hard, or this is going to be hard, then
It's going to stay
creating it.
hard. Yes.
It's going to be hard because you think it's hard, so you're creating it the way
Mhm.
you have the experience that you are sending out there. It's like a
Exactly.
radio wave signal, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I've learned to notice when there's tension in my body, when I'm stressed about something, immediately, as soon as I notice,
Mhm.
good job for noticing.
Uh,
That's one.
yeah.
And then you go, I take my breaths. I pause. I take, even when I'm like in a conversation with my daughters, because my daughters have the ability to, you know, trigger some things in me still. I'm
Yeah.
so much better with other people and holding them in
Right.
compassion, but
Right.
with my daughters. But as soon as I notice that I allowed myself to be reactive, I'll
Yes.
pause. I'll say, wait a minute. And I'll close my eyes and I'll breathe for a few seconds, just, get back to my body. I relax my body. And
Right.
then I will ask myself, what is it that I would want? Right? What do I want here? What do I want? I want harmony. I want good communication. I want deep, meaningful connection and I want love. And I will tell my daughter, like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is not what I want. I want to hear you. I want to understand you and I love you. So let's
Mhm.
try this again.
I
So
love that because I
always
did that too. So many parents don't say, I'm sorry. Like mommy needs to reset, whatever, however you say it to them.
right.
You owning that is so powerful, I think,
It
to
is.
to teach them
Yeah, it
that.
is. And me being in a space of, you know, okay, this I messed up here.
Exactly.
I'm owning it. Yes, this was not the right way to respond. This is not what I want to create. And then we get to create what we want, right? We just
Exactly.
have to decide what that is. So I like to modeling it for the kids is amazing. And that's why
Yes.
I mean I work with kids as well, but I love to work
Ah.
with the adults because if the adults learn to self um, regulate and star in their story. They, own their star power and show up in the world knowing who they are
Mhm.
and
Love that.
loving all the parts of them and accepting that every day we are growing and changing and that the person that I was yesterday, I'm not today. I am so much better today. And that
Yes.
every day I am getting better and better. And when we stay in that open space and allow things to just pass through all the experiences and know that they hold value, they hold learning, they hold opportunities for us. We model that for the kids. So imagine how
Totally.
powerful our next generation is going to be.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun. You're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. So, as we wrap this up, when is your next how can someone get in touch with you? Say they want to be part of your master class. I know we'll have it in the show notes, but what's the best way?
The
Um,
easiest way
yeah.
is go to the website, go to starringinyourlife.com.
Okay.
And in the store, you will find a link to purchase the um, the master class.
Right.
You can sign up for inspiring videos to get them
Mhm.
weekly in your mailbox. You can also simply book a complimentary free rewrite your script consultation. That is my
Love
gift.
that.
So if
I love
anybody
it.
would like to take advantage of the gift, all you have to do is go to starringinyourlife.com and right in the homepage, you can watch the video that tells you about my business and what I do. And right on the side, you will have an opportunity to sign up for a free consultation.
I love that. Thank you for offering that to our listeners and any of their friends. I
Yes.
love that so much. I'm going to take you up on it too. You can find me on starringinyourlife.com. I'll be typing away. But thank you so much, Natalia. I have loved getting to know you better, more about you in depth and what you bring to this world. And it is pure light. It really is. I love you so much. This has been such a pleasure. And I can't wait to see you at upcoming events all over.
one more thing I'd like to share.
Yes.
If anybody is local in, South Bay area around Los Angeles, Gardena, Lawndale, Hawthorne, Redondo Beach, I'm hosting a workshop at my friend's Vedic Vibe Studios, her sound healing studios. And this one is a very special workshop. The donations are going to support a Greater Me project in Los Angeles, which is an educational program for foster youth and veterans through the Vedic Vibes Foundation. So if you'd like to experience a workshop working with me and support a good cause, because 100% of the donations go to the cause, you can join us on July 20th. It's a Sunday.
Awesome.
July 20th.
Oh, great. Love that. Yes. So check all that out. And you know what? I'll make sure to get that put in the show notes too, Natalia, before we publish this. So we hope you've had so much fun today. If you did, you love our community, please like and subscribe. Give us a comment. Share this with a friend. Maybe you know somebody that's wanting to reinvent their life or just step into the starring role of their life. You can tell by listening to this today that, oh, I've got the perfect friend I need to send this to. Please do. We've loved having you here, and we will see you again next week. All right.
Yes,
bye for now. Thank you. Thanks for joining us on Dig the Well.
We hope you feel empowered and ready to take on new challenges.
Remember, if we can do it, so can you. Keep learning, keep believing, and going after your dreams.
And if you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who needs a little inspiration or maybe a nudge in the right direction.
Help us grow this community of go-getters. Together, we can achieve greatness and get back to family.
Thanks for listening, and let's keep digging the well.